Hi everyone, it's Kim back with another video. I decided to do a how did I set up and use my wedding binder. Me and my husband got married, September of 2018, and it's end of May 2019. So that's what September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, 9 months ago. So this stuff is fairly fresh. I won't be sharing any kind of contact information or anything like that. I just don't feel comfortable doing so. Just to preserve friends and families' privacy. I decided to go with just a regular binder. That way I can edit things the way I want them instead of buying a book from Barnes & Noble or off of Amazon or something like that. If you feel the need to, go right ahead. I'm not stopping you. This was just a better solution for our situation and our wedding. So I just opted for this solution. I was looking on YouTube before I set up mine, and a lot of brides are doing this. You can decorate it a little bit more or whatever, but it's entirely up to you. This option was easier for me. I'll explain how I had checklists and stuff like that as I go through it. Anyway, let's get started. Before I get started, I also used the Knot app as well. But anyway, let's get started. First thing it is, I got this binder either from Walmart or Target, as well as the dividers with the pockets. I insisted on having dividers with pockets because I knew I would be shoving a lot of things in the pockets or needing things in pockets. So I did that. Anyway, this first thing is the front of the envelope is checklists and some notes that I took stuck in front of the checklist. The checklist I got were from my computer, templates from my computer. It's the Knot app has more detailed and checklist does have. What I did is went basically off of this and with the Knot app checklist, and whatever there was more detail on the Knot app checklist, and whatever was not relevant to us, we just kind of or we felt it was not necessary, we just kind of like, okay, yeah, we don't need that. But having some sort of checklist does help a lot. As you see here, this one is break it down from 9 to 12 months from your wedding day. So fairly quickly, what helped us was to set our date fairly quickly, as soon as possible, so that way we can do these checklists. And it's broken down from 9 to 12 months, 6 to 9 months to the wedding day, 4 to 6 months, 2 to 4 months, 4 to 8 weeks. As you see, things are highlighted, scratched out, marked out, starred. A week prior, the day before the wedding, the day of the wedding. So I mean, it's pretty basic stuff. Also, which I also had printed off as printed off of my computer, which helped a lot, was a wedding day checklist and things that you don't always think to, if it's your wedding, to have. You can probably get it off of online. There's apps as well. Things like grooming, hand lotion, wet wipes, tissues, definitely tissues, especially if you are that person that will cry or think you'll cry going down the aisle. I didn't think I would, but I had tissues just in case, and sure enough, I did cry. Having makeup remover if you're doing your own makeup, nail polish remover, and the Shane Warren if you're doing your own nails, nail polish remover, again, if you're doing your own nails. But this is also handy for your maid of honor to have as well, so that way she has. My maid of honor was my stepsister, and she had things that I didn't even think to have that they're on this list or not on this list. And so she was like, and so did my mom's stepmom. They both had things that I didn't think to bring, and I brought things that they didn't think to bring. So someone needed something and we all had it. So someone had something we needed. So, but this is a basic outline. I mean, it has, small grooming scissors, small hand towel, a lint brush, which is very curling iron. I didn't need that. A hair dryer. I didn't need that because I had my hair done professionally and hair makeup done professionally. So I really didn't need that, but I did need. And this says comb, brush, hairspray, hair gel. I did definitely pack that. Extra bobby pins and hair elastics just in case. Mainly just to make sure my hair stood up for the entire thing, because my hair appointment was at 10:30 or 11, and I needed the extra hairspray and everything, and I also got makeup to touch up, the extra lipstick and other stuff to touch up my makeup. So that's where this comes in. Toothbrush, floss, mouthwash. I did have like mints and that kind of stuff. Baby powder, which is good for various things. Deodorant. I put some on that morning, and I packed some just in case. Put it right in my bag to put on right before I put on my dress. Perfume, again, I put some on before I left the house like I normally do, but then I also put some on right before because, I wanted to make sure I smelled good. Part with this grooming section, I took a shower the night before like I normally do, and I washed my hair and had it, towel dried and cleaned and everything. But I still got up and took a shower the next morning to make sure I was really clean because, I didn't want to smell, and I was going to have a bunch of guests come along and hug me and congratulate us and stuff. So I didn't want to stink. So I had mouthwash handy, mints handy, all that kind of stuff. And other attire, having a throwaway garter. I didn't care having a saved garter, so I just bought one garter. I just didn't care about having a saved garter. I didn't care about our cake topper being saved. To be honest with you, I have no clue where our cake topper went to. And I thought it was I was like that bride, okay. Like I saw a really cute cake topper online for $60 to $80 because it was really unique. One off of Etsy with a dartboard and a bride pulling the groom away from the dartboard because my husband plays darts, and since we've got married, I started playing darts. But what I did is I found a cheaper one over at Party City with the bride pulling the groom away, and I slipped an extra dart we had around the apartment in between his hands. So what happened to that, I don't know, and I was thinking that it would disappear anyway, so I was like, forget it. Just get something cheap. But if you want it more expensive, that is totally up to you as far as having a garter, extra garter, and cake topper and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what happened to our cake knife and serving knife or when we did our cake cutting either. I don't know what happened to that. Again, it was one of those things that I wanted when I liked, but I didn't want to spend a lot of money on it. But again, I'm not going to fault you for wanting one more expensive or making sure you get it home because it's yours. It's your wedding day. Having extra buttons, flat shoes for reception. what I didn't check it, but I did have it. I had my nice shoes that I wore with the dress and pictures and everything, which no one paid attention to my shoes anyway. And I went back eventually and switched my shoes into flip flops. And no one knew any difference. Having extra pantyhose, extra buttons, extra earring backs as well, having safety pins, all kinds of different, having club soda or other stain remover solutions. Just it has all kinds of lists on this. This is good to have. In this section, it is our guest list. I will not be showing that. Again, I just made a template off of my computer, and that's how we did that. We combined his family, my family, and any friends we wanted in the guest list, and that's how I just composed it on my computer. It was a really easy checklist. It was easy for me to type up names, and it was a really simple checklist that came template. I just wrote it into the section of my computer in Excel, typed it up, wedding guest list, and it popped up, and it gave me you put in the time, and then not time, the date, and how many guests you're inviting, and it did the totals for you as you got RSVP back. It gave you the totals of how many have not responded, how many did respond, how many are coming, how many are not coming. It was very helpful because it did the math for you, which comes in handy when you're doing totals for food and cake and everything else. This is the information on our wedding registry. I looked into a couple of places, 2 or 3 places. One was Macy's, and another one was Bed Bath & Beyond and Target. For the stuff that we wanted and needed, mainly kitchen and bath and a few extra bed linens, because I moved on my own. I lived on my own. We moved in together. He had no extra. He didn't have any furniture, any bed linens or anything like that, but I had all the furnishings and everything else. But I had all secondhand dishes and pots and pans, and all of our bed linens and towels were starting to get worn, and it was just time to replace them. So our wedding was a good excuse to put on a registry for all of these things. I felt like, okay, I didn't want to get, Walmart has a wedding registry, but I thought that was just too low end, and I thought Macy's and Bed Bath & Beyond was a bit too pricey. And there was stuff I liked at Macy's and Bed Bath & Beyond, or we liked at both of those, like some, like some of here, some here, and some here, but the majority of the stuff that we liked were at Target. So we felt that it was easier on us and our guests to say, okay, we're registered at Target. Just made it simple. So that's what we went with Target. So it was not so low end that we got a lot of cheap stuff, but it was not so high end that people that felt like they could get us, they wanted to get us stuff, but felt like they couldn't because it was a lot of expensive stuff. So that's where I went with that. That's the reasoning for that. Catering. My husband wanted Mexican and barbecue for the food for the wedding. We couldn't, because of our budget, we couldn't afford to do both for the wedding day, and I felt it was too much trying to figure out numbers as far as barbecue and Mexican, and trying to divide up who wants what with what, who wants barbecue, who wants Mexican, and figuring out the stress of 2 caterers on the same day was just like beyond what I wanted to do. So it was just easier for us to do Mexican on the wedding day and barbecue for the wedding. So this is the section, and what we did is we said, okay, how many people for this? Because I really didn't want to, on the wedding invitation, I didn't want to have like a okay, do you want barbecue, or you want, some wedding invitations have, okay, do you want chicken or fish, or do you want, I don't want to go, okay, well, on the invitation, do you want chicken, do you want barbecue, or do you want Mexican? I mean, that's just too much all in one day. So we agreed, okay, barbecue for the rehearsal dinner and Mexican for the wedding. What we did is, because we got married at a local VFW, and so I live in Texas, so Tex-Mex and barbecue, especially the bottom half, the southern part of Texas, you can get a lot of Mexican restaurants or Tex-Mex, and you can get a lot of barbecue throughout Texas. So it was easy finding a good barbecue restaurant. My husband lived here his entire life, and I lived here since I was 12, so we knew our area that we live in, and we went with a Carl's Barbecue across from the VFW that we got married at, and so we were able to order the food and have someone pick it up for us, because we could, even though it was like right next door, it was not a big enough amount where they would deliver it. So we had, because we went the day of the wedding, or the day before the wedding, me, my dad, my stepmom, stepsister, which is also my maid of honor, and I and my cousin spent the entire day of the post opening up, and they were so graciously let us set up everything and spend the entire day setting up everything and have a rehearsal dinner and everything. And then we had we just had the barbecue, and it was just really easy. Las Cucos, which is a Mexican chain in our area. I'm not sure how far widespread it is. I know it is in our area. I know let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 in our area. I live in one of the major cities in Texas, so that's why there's that many. But it was like good prices. I mean, barbecue was really easy as far as going, and we picked like, I think, sausages and brisket and green beans, or potato salad, macaroni and cheese. So, wait, hold on. Let me look at this. What did we get? I'm trying to remember now. We got, I know we got like the sausage and brisket. And then we got, the sides. Oh, we got green beans, the green bean casserole, mac and cheese, and I think the beans as well. So that's what we got. I mean, it's fairly basic. Majority of everybody liked it. This is the menu that they gave us, and we picked the fajitas and the El Charro, which both of these plates came with rice, refried beans, pinto de gallo, guacamole, chili con queso, flour tortillas, red sauce, green sauce, tortilla chips, paper plates, plasticware, and napkins. So we didn't have to worry about any kind of plates or anything like that. So which made our job a whole lot easier. didn't have to worry about plates. We didn't have to worry about silverware, anything like that. And as it was a variety of food, we have a cheese enchilada, so we had rice and beans. So if people were, and it had guacamole and stuff that didn't have meat in it. So if we had some guests that we already knew that were vegetarian, that they can find something out of these two selections to make a meal, but still having what we wanted. And as you can see, it was both under $16. But it, again, we had to add in the delivery charge and having full service, so that we didn't have to worry about running out of food, or our guests serving food or anything like that. That was an extra charge for it and everything else. But yeah, that's what we went with. Again, set it up in there. That's what we did. The cakes, we went to Four Heavens Cakes, which is a local baker, and that's how we did. This is where we put all of that. They were awesome. DJ was a friend of ours that did it, and all she and what I did is, for her, I put all of her information in here, all of the things that the contracts and everything for her in here. I had as you can see, I printed it off. I sent her an email of what songs we wanted when. Again, I went on my computer and I looked up wedding music spreadsheet for DJ, and that's what I did. And it, can't really tell, can't really see. It's really small print on here, but it has, pre-music. We have, what we had for what we wanted for our wedding party to walk down to, and then what I walked down the aisle to, and then music that we had for us leaving, and then of course the father-daughter dance, mother-son dance, anything like what music we wanted to hear. We were okay with hearing requests, but we had plenty. There was plenty of music that, more than, if our guests wanted to play something else, is cool, long as there was, we had a request not anyone to play two different songs, just because one really upset my husband, and the other one is a song I sung to my mom when she was dying. So my husband didn't want me to break out in tears of me hearing it, but no one would have requested it anyway. But the one more so the one that he likes hearing, that upsets him. More people would request that than the song that I sang to my mom. So it wouldn't have even bothered me. We went with another friend for photography, and this is where I put everything for that. Flowers, I went with 1-800-Flowers, and I sent an email to my friends and family about a basic, when it was early enough when I set these things up, I did do okay, hey, this is what's happening. Flowers are coming to the flowers, which is the boutonnieres and bouquets and corsages were coming at 3:30. The caterer will do precept at 4. Cakes will show up at 4:30. The caterer will be there between 6:30 and 7 to bring the food. The caterer was very prompt. They were there at 5:30. So they were there well before the wedding even started. So they were very good about being prompt. And the food was still hot when we ordered our food. The next thing is, in my section, is hair and makeup. I looked in a couple of different places online as far as hairstyles. TGF Haircutters does do hair, but they don't do makeup. And I was looking for someone that can do it all in one. And so I looked at Ulta, and actually Ulta has their own, it's not just beauty supply and hair, makeup and stuff. They actually have a little salon in the back. And they did my hair and makeup. I gave the options to my bridesmaids. Hey, you can do it somewhere near you. You can do your own hair. You can do your own makeup, or go to a place that's near you. It's entirely up to you. I did the hair and makeup for, let's see, where is it? Yeah, I did the hair and makeup, for the and it was $60 for my hair and about $60 for my makeup. So I paid about $120 before tip. We definitely tipped her. She was very, 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 very good about doing that, and really sweet and very, very gentle about everything. Next thing is what I have, the other section. I went to David's Bridal and got my wedding gown, and they gave us a bunch of stuff to go along with it. I also tucked in a timeline, a more detailed timeline with it, and I just basically typed up on my computer where I was going to be, and it started from the day before the wedding. Basic thing, what I did is I said 11 to 11:30 we'll be at parents' house to help pick up anything for the wedding. 12 p.m. at the VFW, starting getting ready for the wedding setup. Kevin, where Kevin was going to be, because I wanted to know, I sent this to everybody so everybody would know where we were at the day before the wedding and the day of the wedding, so they knew where they needed to be. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I did this detail thing, and I emailed it to all the everybody in the wedding, where my husband was going to be at work, from this time to this time. He was going to be home at 4:30, and gave him time to take a shower, be at the rehearsal dinner. Rehearsal dinner was at this time. Gave details of where I was going to be. 10 a.m. I was going to go to to Ulta to get my hair and makeup. I gave the location of where that was. 3 o'clock, I said bridal party arrives at the VFW, start getting ready. Any kind of finishing touches. The groomsmen did their own thing, and he kind of set that up. 3 to 4:30, flowers, cake. I gave the details on how many, boutonnieres, how many bouquets, how many, all this. Cakes, for Heaven's Cakes, I gave details about that, where the cakes were, the details about that, where everybody was out. Groomsmen show up at 4:30 at the post, dressed, ready to go for pictures, because we were trying to get everything ready on time. 5:25, get ready to start the wedding, because I wanted to start at exactly 5:30 like my invitation said. We had to delay a little bit because of traffic, and we were still having guests in. I was still actually walking into the building and walking into the ceremony when we were still having guests come in. But we made up time. It's okay. And after the ceremony and all the logistics, it really didn't matter. 5:30 wedding ceremony starts. 6 bar and candy bar opens up to the wedding guests. 6 pictures with a whole wedding party and family. We did do pictures with just me and the bridesmaids and me and the grooms and the groomsmen did their pictures. I took pictures with my parents. He did his before the ceremony, so we got that part out of the way. It was just more like, together, the wedding party together, and any kind of extended family we're doing right after the ceremony. So we were trying to get the bulk of this stuff. We're trying to take pictures before the wedding that didn't involve us seeing each other. You know what I'm saying? But we did take all of it. 6:15 to 7 p.m. caterer start serving food. I think that was maybe a little bit early, which was okay, or on time, or if not early. Right after that, we didn't set times. First dance, father-daughter dance, mother-son dance, cake cutting, speeches, and that's basically all the stuff that we did. I hope this was informative. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.